So includes give us Boolean true or false. One is give us, for instance, it's true, but if we change to -1, because we don't have -1 in this array, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, so it should be false, and it's false. Let's see the other includes. We check, is it an array? And this is very good sometimes to check what data type is, I mean data structure. Is it an array or not? For instance, you can check console, and console.log a array. This is how your is array. Actually, it's the other way. Actually, we write it. An array constructor, and is array is from the constructor, and we pass that value, as you can see now. This should true. But how about if I give it just 10? 10 is not, it's false. 10 is just a number, it's not an array. But how about if I give it 1, 2, 1 by itself? It's an array, as you can see, even though the item is 1. Okay, I think you got it. So to string, we can change this array, for instance, that array to string. Console.log a.toString, and it changed to string, as you can see, 1, 2, 3. And similarly, we can use this join. Join is more smart. Console.log a.join. If you just leave like this, it works like toString. But this one gives us actually, for instance, we can add hash in between the space, or we can put something like this, and or you can just separate. Have you seen? I am adding extra space now, comma and extra space. Now it looks normal. Like, for instance, if I have here instead of numbers, Finland, Denmark, and Norway, and now as you can see, it's formatted properly. Great. Let's move on. Join slice, and it's like substring or subster. It helps us to remove some of it. Let's write const countries. Actually, I like countries. They sound. Or shall we just stick into numbers? Did I declare already? Okay, I can just change the name. Yes, nums is used already. I can call it numbers. Okay, now if I want to slice, numbers dot slice. Actually, if I don't pass any argument here, it just slices the whole thing. So it gives me the whole data, as you can see, everything. But if I also start from 0, and if I don't, so it takes 2 parameters, the starting and end. But if you don't give anything, it just takes the whole thing. And if you give the initial also, and if you don't give the end, it assumes the end will be the last item. So something like that. But for instance, if I want to take from here to the rest, 0, 1, 2, 3. Starting from 3 and the rest, as you can see. But if I am interested 4, 5, 6 only, so 0, 1, 2, 3, it's 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't include the last, so it will be, yeah, 6. It will be 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. We slice out this array from the big array. Great. And slice actually doesn't mutate the original array. Could you please turn off the mic? There is open mic and there is background noise. Splice, actually, this splice is very good. I think you have to really watch this one carefully. Let's do some splicing. Okay. Numbers dot splice. Actually, splice take index of what we want to remove, and then I think there's already, it takes 3 parameters: starting position index, and number of items to be removed and replaced, and the number of items to be added or replaced. So for I'm not interested to replace, but I'm interested to remove now 1. So 1 is at index 0, and I want to just remove only 1 item starting from here. So if I do now console.log numbers, you will see something like this. 2 is removed, right? Yeah, 2 is removed. If I am interested to remove 2, I can do 1. As you can see, 2 is removed. But if I am interested to remove the last index, for instance, this one, I can also know 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's 7. Yeah, 8 is removed. But maybe if I like to remove some of the items here, 3 of them at once. Okay, 3 of them at once. So I have to know where to start. 0, 1, 2. I have to start from here. That is 2. How many times am I going to remove? 1, 2, 3. 3 items. Am I going to replace with something? No, I'm not replacing. So as you can see, 3, 4, 5 is removed. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8 is left. But if I want to replace the value with that, for instance, I like to replace 4 with 40 and 5 with 50 and 60. Then you will see something like this. So as you no, how did I'm starting from 0, 1, 2. Yeah, so it should be 30, 40, and 50. So I have removed S3, 4, 5 and replaced them with the new. So this splice is very powerful. You can use it to remove 1 item or
opened up.
I'm coming.
Okay, mic is open. Mic is open. Could you please turn off the mic? Okay, good. Great. Now let's move on. Very important. There's mic still open. Could you please turn off the mic? The very important array methods like push, pop, unshift, and shift. And this will be the last. I think
You can go.
I have to check who is on.
Are you stupid?
Allow your mic is on. Okay. And also Amjad is also, your mic's on. It's good to yeah. Actually, I muted you. It's okay, no problem. Good. Now let's start another these methods. Again, let's just turn off this by commenting. Seriously, how this, because I'm writing on HTML, since it has in. Okay, now let's again declare const nums and 1, 2, 3. This is enough of an array. Yeah, this is an array, and everybody. Yes, I'm back. I was off. So now let's populate. Push actually push one item from the back. So this is how you do it. Nums.push, for instance, let's put 4. And if we check console.log and the nums, and you may see something, nums is already used. Maybe I think we may have used it here already, so I have to comment this again. Yes, as it, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we have additional 4 item. Let's do nums dot push again 5. So as you can see, 5 is added. How about if we want to remove one item? Pop. So nums dot pop. You don't have to have an argument, just without an argument. So it pops the last item. It pops out the last item. Console.log and nums, and as you can see, 5 is removed. And again, nums.pop. If you pop again, actually, and we have to check console.log nums, and if you see now 4 is popped out. How about if we want to add something from the beginning? So nums dot unshift, and we can add 0. And let's see, console.log nums. So unshift can help us to add 0 is added. Yes, if you want to remove that, nums.shift, and you don't have to use shift, will remove the 0. Console.log nums. As you can see now, 1, 2, 3. So now we saw all the push, pop, unshift, and shift. Push will help us to add 1 from the back, pop to remove 1, and shift to add from this side, shift to remove 1 from this side. And I think that is all about array methods. Great. How was it? I don't know if you managed to follow or not, but that was the array methods. And of course, most importantly, you have the material here, and just go through it and then hope it will be helpful. Have you been following? Was it easy to follow so far, guys? Let me know. Can you say something on this group chat? The group chat. Or just did you get lost everywhere? How about Dio and allow? How was it so far? I'm about to move on to a new topic, and that's going to be function. It's gonna be awesome, right? Let's move on to function. Functions. What are functions? Functions are very powerful because it helps us to make our code clean and also to make our code reusable. Because if you change your code to function, you can reuse it whenever you need. You don't have to rewrite your own code. Yeah, you write it once, it's a function, you just reuse it. Okay, good. So in JavaScript, to create a function, you start with the keyword function followed by function name. And then you need parentheses. And then that parenthesis should be closed by a code block, something like this. Console.log. I am a function here. It says I am a function. So let's call this function name. Function name. So this function, you don't see the output. There is no output, there is no result. So to see the output, a function has to be called. Function name, the name of this function is function name. So to call it, yeah, you have a name, right? And you can be called by your own name, nothing else. So this function got a name and we are calling it by name, and it doesn't take any parameter here, and we didn't pass any argument here. So I am a function here, it says. Let's change this name to maybe print name. So if we change that to print name, then this should be also print name, and I may put let first name is equal to Sabine. Sorry. And then console.log first name. Have you seen this? Yeah, it has a very good name, print name. Its role and its function is to just print someone's name and Asabene. But this function is, as you can see, it just prints my name all the time. It doesn't print someone else's name. So to make it more reusable or more robust, it should take a parameter. We call this parameter first name. So this first name should come from outside. So I don't need that. So I can pass here actually Asabena, or it could be print another person also, print name, and someone else, Dio. Have you seen now? But now still this is not very, so how about last name? Then I can say const full name, first name, last name. Then it just return full name. If we have, then I can pass here, and now I'm not sure, I can just give him the same family name. Now, as you can see, this becoming a very good function, right? It is doing something. Yes, at least it's printing anyone's name. What you do is just pass the value, the first name and the last name as argument. But so far I have been just console, but I don't like to do this anymore. I don't do console.log. So to get the value out from this function, I have to do this console.log Yes, and again, console. We can do this. As you can see, I have got two undefined values. Have you seen this? Two undefined values. That means actually it is from this function. If a function doesn't return anything, the value is going to be undefined. If you remember here, when we declare a value, I may show you somewhere when we are talking about data types. Yes, if a variable, if you don't assign value to that variable, the value is undefined. Similar to that, if you don't return anything from a function, the value is also undefined. Now let's return full name. So now returning means actually is assigning this value to this function, or saving. You can say saving, maybe. Saving is not, but somehow closer to saving. Yeah. From now on, you should be familiar with returning. And I'm not going to console.log inside a function, or instead I will use return. Great. This is our first function. And now let's move on to calculate area of a circle function. Calculate area of circle. So as you know, area of a circle can be calculated by the radius. And then you know that let area should be pi. We found it like this last time from the math object, and radius, it's coming from here. And then I can use radius. And then it should be square. I can use something like this. And then you just return it, area. So then console.log, calculate area. And if you just pass 10, it may give you 3 point. And then maybe you are not interested in this value again. You can use mat.round and then area. Then it gives you somehow closer. But maybe I think, does it have a rounding? No. Yes, in Python it has rounding. We can round to 2 or something. But if you want it, we can change it to fixed actually. This area to fixed, and it's going to be about 2 decimal point. Yeah, have you seen 3.14? But it gives you as in a string. Are you following, guys? Let me know, say something, and then I know. Yeah, someone is somewhere listening to me what I am doing. What is function so far? So now let's do a function. Now let's do a function, and I will call it this function sum of events. So sum of events. This function takes a number, and the function returns the sum of all even numbers. And we do also sum of odds. It takes a number and it loops through all the way to that number, and it gives you the sum of that. I think before that, maybe I can also show you some simple calculate square function. Maybe add two nums. It takes A and B. And you return A plus B. Function is as simple as it. Have you seen? You take two numbers and just return. And then console.log, add two numbers, and 3 or 4, and it should give us 7. And maybe the last simple example, function square, find square of n. And then we may just return n times 2. This is square, right? Because I believe that many examples can help people to console.log square everyone of the square of 3, and it's going to be 9, as you can see. Great. Now let's do this part. This means, for instance, if you give the function 10, so it should go to 0 and 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, and it should sum all. And if you give for this one 10, similarly, it should do 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, and it should sum all of this together. So let's start. Okay. But I think before we do this, let's also talk about the, not really, please don't do that. Okay, so the one we saw so far is function declaration. Function declaration. There is another way of writing function is function expression. Function expression is something you write like this. So you write an anonymous function, and that anonymous function will be assigned to some value. Okay, let's do that. For instance, let's change this to function declaration. I mean function expression. It is so easy. You just add function, something like this. So it's change it. So if we want this to change, actually I take this out and then const, and then we change this to function expression. And again, we just take this out and change it to a variable. And yeah, it's so easy, right? And const, I have converted everything to function declaration, function expression. Okay, so now also let's change this to maybe a row function. A row function is so fancy. To change this, remove this and add a row. So removing the keyword function and adding a row. Nice. Remove here again and then add here. Remove it and add here. And remove it, add here. Great. So easy, right? This looks very clean. Now, as you can see, we don't have many things going on here. If it is short like this, even we can change it in one line. We call it explicit return. So as you can see, we don't need this to return it here because it's just short by itself and it can be returned in one just line. Can I just make it short? Yeah, this, okay. So this is, yeah, in one line. Yes, good. In one line. So let's go this one also. We don't need this one also. We can just make everything in one line. So, yes. And this one also, it will be in one line because there's no much one-liner. So everything became just one-liner. This looks clean, right? Yeah, good. But we do one-liner, we change everything to one line when we don't have many lines of code inside the code block. Now let's solve this. First, sum of events, but const sum of events, and I have to use for loop. For let I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to, I have to reach to n, and I plus plus console.log. First, let me show you what's happening. And of course, I have to call that function, console.log sum of events. And let's start by putting 10. As you can see, sum of events, but I didn't see anything so far. 7, 9. Oh, I didn't pass I. Yeah, as you can see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 6, up to 10. But we are interested only even numbers, right? If I is divisible by 2, 0, then console.log, let's identify first the even numbers. As you can see, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now it's about to let sum is equal to 0, because we have to have initial, then we add sum is equal to sum plus I. And then we return the value, return sum. As you can see, the sum is actually 30, so we don't need this. Uh, 2 and 4, 6, 12, 20, 30. That's true. And but this is, we can also shorten this by writing something like this. Yes, yes, we managed to convert that. And if you want to know about 100, you just change this value, 100. Yes, I will leave this for your assignment, sum of oats. Now I like to ask you to convert const, a function, change double array value. So this function is it doubles the array value, and the name is double array. I call it double array, okay? So let's write it. First, just write double array, write the structure, and it takes an array. Okay, no, undo. Okay, for instance, my array could be const new nums, because I have used nums somewhere else. 1, 2, 3, right? If it is, this is the array, I'm expecting another array, 2, 4, 6. This is what I'm expecting actually from this function. So what I use actually, for let I is equal to 0, I less than array dot length, right? I plus plus. And then let's see what we got. Console.log array, and then by the index. I can access by the index, but let's call it also console.log double array, and then I can pass this value, and it's going to be new nums. Okay, where is it? line number standard 33, undefined. Yes, it should be undefined, that's true, but we are iterating also 1, 2, 3. But we can multiply this here, right? 2. Yes, 2, 4, 6. But after multiplying, what am I going to do is this one. So I have to have another empty array, const new array. And let's make it empty. Then we can push this value here. We don't need new array dot push and this value. Then after that, we return a new array. Then you get 2, 4, 6. Yeah, I was expecting this, and then I got 2, 4, 6. Great. Yes, I think after the break, you will have 5 minutes break. We will finish the function part, and it will be the end of the lesson. I will see you soon. How about that? Do you have another 30 minutes to continue? Tayo, Wahid, and